form for me. You do not need to prove that you are strong or brave. You do not need to bring me perfect faith or perfect understanding. You only need to bring me yourself as you are right now, with your questions, your doubts, your fears, your aching heart, and I will receive you. Take a deep breath now, my child. Breathe in slowly, as if you were drawing in a soft light. Gather all the scattered pieces of your thoughts. Gather the aches of your body. Gather the weight of your worries as you breathe in. Hold it gently for a moment, and then let it out very slowly, as if you are placing all that weight into my hands. Let your head rest a little heavier on your pillow. Allow the muscles in your face to loosen. Release the tension that hides in your jaw and behind your eyes. Let your shoulders sink down. Let the tightness in your back soften. Imagine that every breath out is a small surrender, a quiet giving away of what you were never meant to carry alone. I know that your life has not been easy. I know that there are parts of your story that still hurt when you remember them. I know that some days you feel as if you are being tested beyond what you can bear. You wonder why the path is so rough. You wonder why certain things were taken from you. You wonder why some prayers seem unanswered. Long ago there was a man who loved me, a man whose heart belonged to me. He walked with integrity. He feared me and turned away from evil. Yet much was taken from him. Losses came like a storm. His possessions were taken. His health was attacked. His heart was shattered by grief, and his friends told him that it must be because he had done something wrong. That man is known to you as Job. His story is written so that you would know that suffering is not always a punishment. That deep pain is not always the sign that I am against you. His friends tried to explain his pain with simple ideas. They believed that if he was hurting, then he must have earned that hurt. But they did not see what I saw. They did not know the full story that I was writing. Job could not understand why so much had happened, but he held on to one truth. He knew that true wisdom and power belonged to me. He knew that I see what human eyes cannot see, that I understand what human minds cannot grasp. He knew that there are mysteries that belong to me alone, and he chose to trust my heart even when he did not understand my ways. My child, you are not Job, and your story is not the same as his story. But the same truth rests over your life. Wisdom and power are mine. I am not confused about what is happening to you. I am not surprised by the battles you face. I am not uncertain about your future. I hold knowledge that stretches beyond your years, beyond your generation, beyond the limits of this world. You look at your life from the ground. You see only a few steps ahead. You remember the pain of the past and feel the weight of the present, and it is natural for you to ask why things are the way they are. It is natural for you to search for cause and meaning. It is natural for you to look inside yourself and wonder if you are the reason for everything that hurts. Tonight I want you to bring those questions to me. Not to silence them as if they are forbidden, but to lay them down in front of me and say, Lord, I do not understand, but I choose to trust your wisdom. I want you to bring that hidden fear that whispers that I might be punishing you, and place it into my hands. I want you to let me speak a different word over your heart. Breathe in again, slowly and gently. Feel the air fill your lungs. Feel your chest rise. Imagine that with this breath I am drawing near to you, that I am sitting beside your bed, that my hand is resting over your heart. Now breathe out, and as you do, picture your worries flowing out of you like a stream, flowing into a place where I hold them and carry them so that you do not have to. Let your arms grow heavy and relaxed. Feel the weight of your hands sinking into the blanket or the mattress. Allow your legs to rest. Let the muscles in your feet unwind. Do not force yourself to relax. Simply let go of the effort to control everything. Give yourself permission to be weak in my presence, because my strength is enough for both of us. You often believe that you must solve everything before you can rest, that you must fix yourself before you are allowed to be still. But I am not waiting for you to fix yourself. I am not asking you to solve every problem tonight. I am asking you to allow me to be God in your life, to allow me to be the one who carries the weight that is breaking your back. In the story of Job, there are moments where human wisdom speaks loudly. People around him offer explanations and opinions, but they do not see the whole picture. They do not understand the depths of my purposes. Even today, many voices speak loudly in your life. Some say that you are to blame for everything. Some say that there is no meaning at all. Some say that I am far away. But my child, I am closer than your breath. I want you to imagine something simple now. Picture in your mind a single little leaf resting on the surface of a quiet pool of water. That leaf has no power to move on its own. The slightest breeze, the smallest ripple, and it floats in a new direction. Yet it does not fall out of my sight. It does not leave my care. In the same way, every small detail of your life remains within my hands, from the most gentle moment to the deepest wound. There is no fear that I do not see. There is no silent tear that escapes my notice. There is no secret thought that I do not understand. But I do not look at you with cold judgment. I look at you with compassion. I know how tired you are from carrying blame, from replaying old scenes in your mind, from wondering if one different choice could have saved you from pain. Tonight I am asking you to rest that heavy thinking and let me hold those memories. Take another slow breath in, my child. Gather up the worries about tomorrow. Gather the questions that circle around your mind at night. Gather the voices that say that you are not enough. And as you breathe out, imagine yourself placing all of them at my feet. You do not have to know what I will do with them. You only need to know that I am good, that I am wise, that I am powerful, and that I love you more than you can understand. You may feel that your life is a mixture of order and chaos, moments that make sense and moments that do not, times where you see my goodness clearly and times where you wonder if I am silent. But my wisdom is not fragile, my plans are not easily broken, and my care for you does not flicker on and off like a weak light. My care for you is steady, deeper than your changing emotions, stronger than the shifting seasons of your life. When Job looked at the world, he saw that all living things depend on me for their breath. He saw that every creature, great and small, finds its life in me. And though you do not stand in the ancient world where he stood, the truth remains the same. Every breath you take is a gift. Every beat of your heart is sustained by my will. You are not an accident drifting alone in a cold universe. You are a beloved soul being carried moment by my hands. You have walked through days where it felt like the ground beneath you was shaking, and yet you are still here. You are listening to my words. Your heart is still beating. Your story is not over, and I have not abandoned you. Even in those times when I seemed far away, I was nearer than you knew, guiding, protecting, working in ways that you could not see, planting seeds of hope in soil that looked empty to you. Allow yourself now to notice the simple rhythm of your breathing, in and out, in and out. This rhythm is a gentle reminder that life does not depend on your constant effort. Much of what keeps you alive is carried by systems that I design in you. Your heart beats without your command. Your lungs draw air in and let it go without your constant attention. In the same way, I am at work in your story even when you are not aware of it. When fear rises in you, it often tells you that everything is up to you, that if you make one wrong move, everything will collapse forever. But that is not truth. I am the one who holds your days. I am the one who sees the end from the beginning. I am the one who can take the broken pieces and shape them into something new. Your choices matter, but they do not outrun my power to redeem. I want you to hear this clearly in your heart, my child. Your worth is not built upon your success. Your value is not erased by your failures. Your pain is not proof that I have rejected you. I look at you through the lens of my love, through the sacrifice that I have already made for you. I do not weigh you on scales of human perfection. I hold you with mercy and patience. Think again about Job, who sat among ashes, whose skin hurt, whose heart hurt even more. He heard accusations from those who should have comforted him. Yet he kept turning his eyes toward me. He knew that there must be more than what his friends could understand. He knew that if true wisdom and power are mine, then his safest place would always be in my hands, even in confusion, even in grief. You too are invited into that place of trust, not a trust that erases all questions, but a trust that says, Lord, I do not see clearly, but I believe that you see. Lord, I do not feel strong, but I believe that you are strong for me. Lord, I do not know what the future holds, but I believe that you hold me. This kind of trust is not a heavy duty. It is a soft pillow for your soul. Let your mind rest now from trying to predict every tomorrow. Pull your thoughts gently away from the long list of what-if situations that usually come at night. You do not need to control what has not happened yet. You are allowed to be present in this moment with me, allowed to simply breathe and be held. If any part of your body still feels tense, bring your attention there. Maybe your neck feels tight. Maybe your hands are clenched without you noticing. Maybe your stomach feels knotted with worry. Imagine that my hand rests there, warm and gentle, as if peace itself is touching that place. And as you breathe out, imagine the tension softening, the knot loosening, the muscles letting go. My child, you have spent much time trying to carry everything alone. You tell yourself that you must be strong for others, that you cannot afford to fall apart, that you must always have an answer. But in my presence you are allowed to be small. You are allowed to be tired. You are allowed to whisper that you do not know what to do. And I will not turn away from you. Instead, I will draw even closer. I am not a distant ruler watching you from far away. I am a shepherd who walks beside you. I am the one who leaves the 99 to look for the one who is wandering. I am the one who calms storms with a word. I am the one who touches the wounded and calls them beloved. And tonight I call you beloved, not because you feel holy, not because you feel victorious, but because you are mine. Let this truth settle over you like a soft blanket. Wisdom and power are mine, and I use them in love for you. I am not careless with your heart. I am not careless with your story. When you feel like you are surrounded by questions, I am surrounding you with my care. When you feel like you are sinking, I am the one who reaches down and lifts you up. Take one more deep, gentle breath in, and slowly release it. Feel the way your body becomes a little heavier, a little more relaxed. Notice how your thoughts move a little more slowly. Know that this is the beginning of a deeper rest. You do not have to rush. You do not have to force sleep to come. You only need to remain open to my presence, to let my words sink in like rain into dry ground. You are not walking through this night alone. I am here. I am watching over you. I am listening to every quiet sigh of your heart. As you continue to breathe and to rest, I will continue to speak peace over you. I will guard you in ways you cannot see, and I will lead you step by step into a deeper trust in my wisdom and my power, for you are my child. And in my hands, you can safely begin to rest. My child, let your heart follow me now, deeper into the quiet place that I am preparing for you inside your own thoughts. I am taking your hand in this gentle way, and together we will walk through my creation, so that you can feel how completely you are surrounded by my care. Imagine that you are no longer lying in your room. Imagine instead that I lead you along a soft path that winds through a peaceful forest. The air is cool and clean. The ground is covered with fallen leaves and small stones that make a gentle sound under your feet. Above you, branches stretch like arms that have learned how to sway in every season. Sunlight filters through them in golden threads, and everything around you feels alive, yet calm. You breathe in slowly, and with that breath you draw in the fresh scent of pine and earth. It is simple, but it brings comfort, as if the ground itself is reminding you that you are still here, still breathing, still held. Each inhale fills your chest with a quiet strength. Each exhale lets go of a little more heaviness that you have carried for so long. I walk beside you, unseen yet very present. Every sound in this forest is known to me. Every root that curls beneath the soil, every tiny seed pressed into the ground, every bird that hides in the branches. Nothing is outside of my awareness. Nothing is outside of my care, and this walk is not an escape from reality. It is a doorway through which you can see reality more clearly, through my eyes. As you walk, you notice the colors around you, soft greens of moss, deep browns of tree trunks, small white flowers peeking out from the undergrowth. You hear the rustle of a small animal moving through the bushes. You hear the quiet tapping of a woodpecker on a distant trunk. The forest is not loud, but it is full. Every part of it carries a kind of quiet testimony that whispers of life, of order, of care. You have grown used to thinking of nature as background scenery, something that sits behind your busy days. But I invite you now to let it become a teacher for your soul, not a teacher of cold facts, but a teacher of trust. Every leaf that opens in its time, every stream that finds its way around stone and root, every creature that wakes to search for food and then sleeps again, all of them live from my hand, and through them I show you something about my heart. Ahead of you, the path bends slightly to the right, and you follow. As you turn, you see a small rabbit dash across the trail, its fur soft and quick, its little feet barely making a sound. For a moment it pauses and looks toward you, then darts into the thick grass. Its life is small in human eyes, yet I am the one who designed every line of its body, every beat of its heart, every instinct that tells it when to run and when to hide. The rustle of the rabbit startles a deer that has been standing among the trees, almost hidden in the dappled light. The deer lifts its head, ears alert, then moves gracefully away into the deeper forest. In a moment it is gone from your sight, but not from mine. I know where it will rest. I know where it will find water. I know how long it will live upon this earth. Its life too is held within my wisdom and my power. Then, high above, wings move, and a small flock of birds rises from the branches. They swirl together like a single moving thought. They cross a slice of sky that is visible between the trees. Their song is not complex, yet it threads through the silence like a gentle melody. They do not know how to plan a future or worry about tomorrow, yet they are fed, sheltered, guided, every day that they live. As you watch these simple movements, I speak softly to your heart. Do you see, my child, how all these lives are woven together in this place? The rabbit, the deer, the birds, the insects that you do not see, the roots beneath the soil. Nothing is drifting without meaning. Everything lives within a story that rests in my hands. Even this forest, even this small moment in your imagination, exists under the same rule of my wisdom. Long ago, in the days of Job, there was a deep insight spoken. Humanity was reminded to listen to the animals, to notice the birds, to pay attention to the earth itself and to the creatures of the sea, for they all reveal a simple truth. Life does not sustain itself. Breath does not appear from nowhere. Everything that lives does so because it is held by a hand greater than its own, and that hand is mine. You walk on, feeling the soft crunch under your feet, feeling the warmth of the light on your face where it slips through the branches. On your right you begin to hear another sound, quiet at first, then clearer. It is the gentle flow of water over stones. A small stream has been following the path of the forest beside you, hidden behind shrubs and ferns. Now it comes into view. The water is clear. You can see smooth stones beneath the surface. Some are colored like old coins, some like pale bone, some like night. Tiny fish move between them, quick flashes of silver. They dart here and there, never at rest, yet completely at home. Nearby a frog sits on a damp rock, its body still, its presence simple and unafraid. Its low call rises now and then like a slow drum beat beneath the song of the birds. Stand here for a moment, my child, and breathe. Feel the coolness that seems to rise from the water and touch your skin. Listen to the soft chatter of the stream as it moves over stone and root. This small river is not famous. No one maps their life by it, but it is known to me. I know every curve of its bed. I know where it begins and where it will join with other waters. I know how it carries life for plants and animals all along its way. In this simple place, surrounded by trees and water and creatures that do not know your name, I want you to remember something that your heart often forgets. You are not abandoned to chaos. Your life is not just a series of random events. Your pain is not a meaningless accident. If even fish that flash for a brief moment in a forest stream are held within my thought, how much more is your life held within my love? You often tell yourself that you are alone, that no one truly sees the depth of what you carry, that your grief and your confusion are too heavy, too complicated, too tangled for anyone to understand. But I understand fully. I see the beginning of every thread. I see the knot that formed when one wound met another. I see how questions grew in your heart when you tried to make sense of events that caused you pain. Look again at the water. Watch how it moves around the stones in its way. When it meets a rock, it does not stop existing. It does not give up and vanish into nothing. It simply finds a way to flow around, over, or quietly beneath. Over time, the same water that seems so soft can shape those very stones, smoothing them, changing their surface. In the same way my grace moves through your life, my child, it does not always remove what is hard, but it reshapes, it softens, it transforms. You may not see it yet, but I am using even the rough places, even the unanswered questions, even the nights when you weep and feel no one hears. I am using all of it in ways that belong to my wisdom, ways that belong to my power, not to crush you, but to deepen you, not to destroy you, but to root you more firmly in my love, as trees sink their roots deeper when storms come. Lift your eyes now from the stream and look around the forest again. See how many different forms of life surround you. Tall trees reach upward, thin grasses bend in the breeze, tiny insects move among the leaves, moss clings to damp bark. Far above, the sky stretches wide and blue. Even though you can see only a small piece of it through the branches, it still arches over everything. This world that you see, from the smallest ant to the tallest mountain, exists because I speak it into being and sustain it with my will. I am not distant from it. I am not indifferent. The same presence that holds the orbit of stars also listens when a child whispers a prayer in the dark. The same wisdom that orders seasons and tides is at work in the details of one human heart, and that heart is yours. Take a slow breath again. Let the forest air fill your lungs in this holy picture that I am giving you. As you breathe out, imagine that some of the tightness within you releases. Imagine that the hard shell that worry has built around your heart begins to crack, not because you are ignoring reality, but because you are finally allowing my reality to be larger than your fear. Now, my child, I invite you to speak with me in this quiet place. You do not need special words. You do not need a script. Just let your thoughts turn into a simple prayer. You can say within yourself, Lord, thank you for this forest in my mind. Thank you for birds and animals and water and light. Thank you that nothing lives outside your care. Thank you that my life is seen and held by you. Forgive me for forgetting this. Help me remember. As you form those thoughts, as you let gratitude rise even just a little, something in you begins to shift. Your focus moves away from the constant noise of your worries and toward the steady presence of my love. Gratitude is not a denial of pain. It is a quiet choice to see that even in the middle of pain there is still goodness, there is still beauty, there is still me. You take a few gentle steps along the stream. You let your fingertips brush the rough bark of a nearby tree. Beneath your hand you can feel the life pulsing within it, unseen sap rising and falling, roots spreading beneath the earth, reaching for water, holding fast in storms. This tree does not know how it grows. It simply receives what I have provided: soil, water, light, and in that receiving it becomes what it was made to be. In the same way, you are not called to understand every detail of how I will work in your life. You are called to remain open to what I give, to receive my love, my wisdom, my presence, to stand firm in me when winds of fear and disappointment blow against you. And in that daily receiving you slowly become more of who you were created to be, a person who trusts, a person who loves, a person who rests in me. Think for a moment about how quickly human voices change. One day people praise you, another day they criticize you. One moment they seem close, the next they feel distant. If your heart roots itself only in their opinions, you will be tossed about again and again. But if your heart roots itself in me, if you draw your sense of worth from my love, then you will stand even when moods and seasons change around you. Job learned to look beyond the voices that tried to explain his suffering with shallow answers. He learned to look beyond his own limited view of events. He looked to me. He saw that if the life of every creature rests in my hands, then his life must also rest there. Even when he felt broken, even when nothing made sense, his safety was not in understanding. His safety was in trusting my character. You too can take that path, my child. Here in this forest, as you walk with me, you can choose to say, I may not understand, but I choose to trust that the hand which holds birds and rabbits and streams is the same hand that holds me. I may feel weak, but I choose to believe that your strength surrounds me. I may feel lost, but I choose to believe that your wisdom guides me. Let that choice be gentle, not forced. It does not need to be loud. It can be as quiet as the sound of leaves shifting in a soft wind. Trust grows slowly, like a tree growing ring by ring, day by day. Do not despise the small beginnings of trust in your heart. Do not tell yourself that small trust is worthless. Bring even that small trust to me and I will nurture it. Now notice how the light changes in the forest. It is not harsh. It does not glare. It rests softly on the ground, touches the surface of the water, turns drops of moisture on the leaves into tiny sparks of gold. Your life too is touched by light in ways you do not always see. Moments of kindness, simple joys, quiet provisions that came just when you needed them. These are not accidents, they are traces of my hand. As you remember them, let gratitude pass through your thoughts again. Thank me for the day that you survived when you thought you would fall apart. Thank me for the person who spoke a gentle word when you most needed it. Thank me for the strength that appeared in you when you felt you had none left. Thank me for the breath in your lungs right now, for the beating of your heart, for the hope that is beginning to rise again, even if only a little. Gratitude opens windows in your soul. It lets in fresh air where fear had made the room stuffy and dark. It does not erase loss, but it keeps loss from becoming your only truth. It makes room for the awareness that I have been with you, and that I am with you now, and that I will be with you in all the days that are still to come. Walk a little further with me. The path now moves gently upward, not steep, just enough for you to feel your body working a bit more. With each step, your mind moves away from the places where it usually circles around the same worries. Instead, it is learning to circle around my faithfulness, my care, my wisdom. You are practicing a new way of seeing, and this practice will not be wasted. At the top of a small rise, the forest opens into a clearing. Sunlight spills across soft grass. Wildflowers nod their heads as if in quiet agreement with an unseen song. You stand there with me, and you feel a light breeze brush your face, carrying the scent of earth and green things, carrying a peace that does not depend on perfect circumstances. This peace does not ignore the storms of life. It simply flows from a deeper place, from me. My child, all of this that you see, even in this picture of your heart, exists to remind you that you are not alone in a cruel universe. You are not a random existence trying to hold everything together. You are a soul created, known, and loved, in a world that I hold moment by moment. If I care for these trees, these birds, these streams, how surely do I care for you? Take another slow breath in, and let it out. Feel how your body is more relaxed now than when we began this walk. Feel how your thoughts have slowed, how the noise inside you has grown softer. This is the work of my peace, gently covering you, gently settling you, gently preparing your rest. You do not need to cling tightly to control. You can let go and lean into me. Stay here a little longer with me in this clearing. Let the beauty soak into you. Let the awareness of my presence sink deeper. And as you stand in this quiet place, know that even when you return in your mind to your room, to your bed, to your ordinary life, I remain with you. The same Lord who holds this forest together holds you. The same wisdom that guides rivers and roots, guides your days. You are safe in my hands, my child. You are never forgotten in my creation, and as you rest, I will continue to watch over you. My child, stay with me in this gentle place inside your heart. The forest around you is still, the air is soft, and I am here. I am speaking to you so that you can know more deeply who I am, and what it means that true wisdom and true power belong to me. You often feel that you must understand everything. You try to untangle every thought, every event, every wound. You search for reasons. You search for patterns. You tell yourself that if you could only understand why something happened, then you could finally rest. But this constant search has made you tired. It has made your mind spin when it should be still. I see how you replay conversations again and again. I see how you look back over past choices, imagining different paths, different results. I see how you look ahead into the future, planning for every possible outcome. preparing yourself for every possible pain. Your heart believes that this constant effort will protect you, but instead it only exhausts you. In the days of Job, people thought that wisdom belonged mostly to age and experience. They believed that the older a person became, the more answers that person would carry, and there is a kind of truth in that. Years can teach lessons, time can give perspective, but even the longest human life is still a small circle drawn inside a greater circle that has no end. Job began to see that wisdom which depends only on human age, human experience, and human knowledge will always be limited. It rises and falls, it changes, it sometimes fails. But the wisdom that rests in me does not change, it does not weaken, it does not grow old, it is not surprised by anything, it is not confused, it is complete and whole at every moment. My child, I want you to remember this as you breathe. There is wisdom that lives in your mind, and there is wisdom that lives in my heart. Your mind can see only a few steps of the road. My heart sees the entire path, from beginning to end. Your thoughts can be shaken by pain and fear. My wisdom remains steady even when storms rise all around you. Take a slow breath in. Let your lungs fill with air that feels clean and gentle. As you breathe out, feel the weight of needing to know everything begin to loosen. You do not need to be the one who holds every answer. You do not need to sit in the judge seat of your own life, trying to decide if you deserve good or bad, trying to decide if every hardship is a punishment. You can step down from that heavy place and let me sit there as your Lord. You stand with me in the green clearing, light resting on the grass, birds moving quietly from branch to branch, their small bodies full of life that does not worry about tomorrow. They do not carry heavy questions about why they were born or why some seasons are hard. They simply receive what I give. They move with the day. They sing while there is light. They rest when darkness comes. And in all of this, they are held by my wisdom and my power. I do not ask you to be unthinking like the birds. I gave you a mind for a reason. I gave you the ability to ask, to notice, to wonder. But I did not design your mind to carry the entire weight of the universe. I did not design you to hold the full explanation of everything that happens. I did not design you to be your own God. You were made to live in relationship with me, trusting what you do not fully understand into my hands. Look at the trees standing around the clearing. Their roots reach deep into the soil. They do not know the full map of those roots. They do not see how far they spread. They do not trace every path of water flowing beneath the surface, yet they stand, season after season, because the system that sustains them rests in my wisdom. So it is with you. There are roots in your life that you cannot see. There are streams of grace that you do not notice, but they are real, they are working, and I know every detail. You have been taught to believe that control and understanding are the same thing as safety. You tell yourself that if you can control your own actions perfectly, control the reactions of others, control every outer circumstance, then you will finally feel secure. Yet the more you try to control, the more fragile your peace becomes, because the world does not bend perfectly to your will, and your own heart does not always obey your plans. True safety is not found in control, it is found in trust. Not trust in yourself, not trust in other people who are as limited as you, but trust in me, the one whose wisdom and power are complete, the one who sees beyond the horizon, the one who knows how to bring good out of what looks only like loss, the one who knows how to turn ashes into something beautiful. In the book of Job, there is a turning point. Job begins to see that his life, his suffering, and even the lives of the nations around him are not outside my hand. He sees that I am the one who can build and who can tear down, the one who can restrain water and who can release it, the one who can lift up and who can humble. All of this power is mine, and yet it is never separate from my justice and my love. You may hear about power in this world and think only of fear. Human power often frightens you, because human power is often used to control, to crush, to dominate. But my power is different. My power is holy. My power is pure. My power is joined to my mercy, joined to my compassion. When I use my power, it is never careless. It is never cruel. Even when you do not understand my ways, my heart remains good. Let your mind rest on this thought. Every force that frightens you, every system that feels too big, every voice that speaks loudly against you, is still small under my hand. Nations rise and fall, leaders come and go, trends appear and vanish, but my wisdom and my power do not pass away. They are the steady ground beneath every shifting circumstance, and you belong to me, the one who stands above it all. Take another breath now, my child. Breathe in slowly, and as you do, imagine that you are breathing in the awareness of my strength. Not a strength that demands you to be strong, but a strength that offers you rest. Breathe out and let go of the belief that you must carry your entire world. You cannot carry it, and you do not have to, because I am carrying you. When you lie awake at night, there is often a small voice that says that everything depends on you, that your worth depends on perfection, that your future depends on never making another mistake, that love depends on you never failing anyone. This voice does not come from me. It comes from fear, from shame, from the wounds you have suffered. I speak a different word. I say that your life depends on my grace, that your future rests in my wisdom, that your worth is anchored in my love. Think of how the stream you saw flows around stones. When the water meets something hard, it does not declare that its journey has ended. It continues, it adjusts, it moves with patience. Over time it shapes the very obstacle that once seemed so final. My wisdom works in your life in a similar way. When you meet pain, when you meet loss, when you meet closed doors, my wisdom does not give up. It flows. It searches out new paths. It shapes the hard places of your story. You may look at certain parts of your past and see only failure, only brokenness, only shame. You may say to yourself that nothing good could possibly come from those places. But I see more. I see how even there, my wisdom can bring understanding, my power can bring healing, my love can bring redemption. What looks like the end to you can become a beginning in my hands. Job did not see, at the height of his suffering, how his story would be used. He did not see the restoration that awaited him. He did not see that his trust, his questions, his cries, and his faithfulness would become a testimony for generations after him. He did not see how many hearts would be comforted by knowing that a righteous man could suffer and yet still be held and restored by me. In the same way, you do not see how your story is reaching further than you know. You do not see how your decision to keep trusting me in the dark is whispering courage to others. You do not see how your quiet prayers, your tears, your choice to keep loving, your choice to keep hoping, are all part of a greater work that my wisdom is shaping, beyond the limits of what you can see. My child, I do not ask you to pretend that pain is easy. I do not ask you to smile over wounds that still hurt. I do not ask you to call bitter things sweet. I ask you to bring your pain to me with honesty, to tell me where it hurts, to open your heart like a field that has been left dry, and to let my wisdom and my power be the rain that falls there, the rain that softens, the rain that prepares the ground for new life. Look again at the clearing in the forest. Imagine that a soft rain begins to fall. The drops touch leaves and petals and earth. At first the ground resists. Dust rises. Then slowly the earth begins to receive. In the same way, your heart may resist the idea of trusting me, because it has been dry and guarded for a long time. But if you stay with me, if you keep opening yourself even a little, you will begin to receive, and what felt hard will slowly soften. Take a moment now to breathe in and out with this image in mind. With each breath in, imagine that my wisdom is like gentle rain. With each breath out, imagine that the soil of your heart is opening and loosening. You do not need to force this. You only need to allow it. Even a small desire to trust me is something I can work with. Even a small willingness to let go is precious to me. There have been times when you thought that you had to choose between using your mind and trusting me, as if faith meant closing your eyes, ignoring reality, refusing to think. But that is not what I ask. I invite you to bring your whole mind to me, to ask honest questions, to search the truth, to learn and to grow, yet at the same time, to accept that there will always be mysteries that belong to me alone. Faith is not the absence of thought. Faith is the decision to rest your thought on the foundation of my character, to say, I will think, but I will not think against the goodness of God. I will feel, but I will not interpret every feeling as proof that God has left me. I will question, but I will not let my questions erase the truth of the love and wisdom that have carried me this far. You have seen glimpses of my wisdom at work. Think of moments where everything seemed delayed, and later you saw how the timing was perfect. Think of times when a no felt like a loss, and later you saw that it made room for a better yes. Think of times when a closed door kept you from a path that would have harmed you, even if you did not understand at the time. These are small windows into the way my wisdom moves. Let those memories rise gently now. Do not rush them. Remember one time when you later saw my hand. Hold that memory in your heart and let it speak to the present. If I was wise then, I am wise now. If I cared then, I care now. If I guided you then, I guide you now. My wisdom and my power have not decreased. They have not changed. They are the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. As you stand with me in this clearing, Feel again how the breeze touches your skin, how the light rests gently rather than harshly. This is how I want you to experience my wisdom, not as a blinding force that overwhelms you, but as a soft light that guides you, not as a violent wind that tears you down, but as a quiet breath that fills your lungs and gives you strength. Your part is not to hold all outcomes in your hands. Your part is to stay near me, to listen for my voice, to follow the small steps I place before you, even when you cannot see 10 steps ahead. I will not leave you without guidance. I will not abandon you to wander without direction. My wisdom is not only cosmic and distant, it is also intimate and close, guiding you in the small choices of each day. Now, my child, begin to let your thoughts slow even more. You do not need to keep up a high speed of thinking while you rest. You can let your mind become quieter, like a pond when the wind is calmed. If wandering thoughts arise, gently bring them back to this truth. Wisdom and power belong to your Lord. You are not carrying this life alone. You are being carried. Take another deep and gentle breath in, and as you exhale, let these words settle in your inner being. I am wise. I am strong, and I am for you, not against you. I do not abandon you in confusion. I walk with you through it. I do not leave you in weakness. I offer you my strength. I do not mock your questions. I invite them, and then I hold them within my greater knowing. You are here in this night, listening, breathing, beginning to rest, and I am here with you. My wisdom has brought you through many days that you thought you would not survive. My power has held you when you felt you would break, and I will not stop now. As your eyes grow heavier and your body grows more relaxed, let go of the need to understand everything, and hold on only to me. In my hands, my child, your past is not wasted, your present is not forgotten, and your future is not hopeless. In my wisdom and my power, there is a path even where you see none. There is light even where you feel surrounded by darkness. There is meaning even when you cannot name it. You are safe with me, and as you sink deeper into rest, I will keep watching over you, with a wisdom that never sleeps and a power that never fails. My child, remain with me now as the light in the forest begins to soften. This is the moment when day leans gently toward evening, and I will show you more of who I am, so that your heart can rest in my strength. Around you the air grows a little cooler, the tops of the trees sway with a slow rhythm, clouds drift across the sky like great silent ships. The shadows lengthen on the ground, yet nothing in this scene is out of control. Every cloud, every breeze, every shifting pattern of light and shadow is known to me, and all of it is held within my wisdom and my power. You have walked through many days that felt wild and unpredictable, storms in your circumstances, storms in your thoughts, storms in your heart. At times you have wondered if anything or anyone truly rules over all of this, or if everything is just spinning on its own. Tonight I tell you again that nothing spins outside my hand, nothing moves beyond my reach. High above the forest, the clouds gather more closely, the sky darkens into a deeper shade. You feel a change in the air, the soft pressure that comes before rain. Then the first drop touches your skin, cool and gentle. Another lands on a leaf nearby. then another on the surface of the stream. Soon a quiet rain is falling over everything, washing leaves, soaking soil, making the colors around you deeper and richer. In the days of Job, people were reminded that I am the one who can hold back the rain or release it. When I restrain the clouds, the land becomes dry and cracked. When I open them, the water rushes down and rivers swell. You see only the surface of these things, but I see the deep pattern, the way that water rises and falls, the way that seasons turn, the way that life depends on balance and timing. All of this rests within my wisdom. As the rain falls on your face, I want you to remember that the same hand that directs clouds and storms directs the story of your life. You often feel as if events break over you like sudden weather, a phone call, a loss, a change you did not want. They arrive the way storms arrive, and you feel small beneath them, but you are not abandoned beneath blind forces. You are covered by my care, even when you do not understand. Take a slow breath as the rain continues. Breathe in the coolness. Breathe out the tightness that gathers in your chest when you think about all you cannot control. You have tried to be the master of your own sky. You have tried to predict every storm and command every cloud. This attempt has worn you down. Your shoulders are tired from trying to hold up a sky that was never yours to hold. Tonight I invite you to let it go. Look at the forest floor. Small plants bow under the weight of the water, yet they do not break. They bend, they receive, they allow the rain to soak them. They trust that this same rain which feels heavy for a moment will become life within them. In the same way I call you to bend beneath my hand, not in terror, but in trust, to let my power move over you and through you, turning what feels heavy into something that nourishes your soul. Far beyond this forest there are cities and nations, crowds of people moving through streets, leaders making decisions, conflicts rising and falling. To you these things seem huge and distant and frightening. News and stories of the world can make your heart feel small and unsafe. But hear me now, every nation, every ruler, every system, all of them exist beneath my authority. They are not outside my sight. They do not stand taller than my throne. Job spoke of how I can build up a nation and also bring it down, how I can expand borders and also let them shrink, how I can give insight to leaders and also allow them to wander when they reject wisdom. This is not a random shifting of power. It is part of a story far larger than any one moment, and while you cannot grasp all of that story, you can rest in knowing that your life is not at the mercy of human power alone. You may feel the weight of decisions made by others. You may live under laws, under systems, under structures that you did not choose. And it is natural for you to feel small in the face of these things. But remember this, every human authority is temporary. Every human structure is fragile. My reign is not temporary. My rule is not fragile. My wisdom sits above every throne, every government, every movement, and you belong first to me. Take another gentle breath, my child, and as you do, imagine a great mountain rising beyond the forest, solid and unmoved. Clouds may wrap around it, storms may strike its slopes, seasons may dress it in green or in snow, but its deep core remains. In the same way my wisdom and my power stand, unshaken by the events that trouble you. You may see clouds, you may hear thunder, but behind it all I remain the same. Now let us turn our attention to the shadows that the rain and the fading light create. Under the trees the darkness gathers, not in a harsh way, but like a soft curtain. Shapes are less clear, edges blur. You cannot see every detail of the path. You can still walk, but you cannot rely only on sight. This is much like the seasons of your life when clarity fades and your way forward seems dim. You have passed through times when questions grew like trees around you, tall and close, blocking your view. You have walked through days when you could not see what lay ahead, when every step felt uncertain. In those moments fear told you that darkness meant absence, that because you could not see, I must not be there. But tonight I tell you that I am present in the shadows as surely as in the light. Job spoke of me as the one who can uncover what is hidden in darkness, the one who can bring light to the deepest gloom. My child, there is no shadow so thick that my understanding cannot enter it. There is no secret place of pain in you so deep that my compassion cannot reach it. There is no confusion so dense that my wisdom cannot cut a path through it in the right time. Think of a lantern being lit in a darkened room. The flame is small, yet it drives back the darkness in a circle around it. Little by little more can be seen. In your life I often work in this way. I do not always flood every corner with sudden light. I often begin with a gentle glow, a small clarity, a single step, and then another, and another, until you realize that your path has been quietly opening before you all along. You do not need to fear the seasons when your vision is limited. You do not need to demand full maps from me before you will move. I invite you to trust the light that I place at your feet, one step at a time. I invite you to believe that my wisdom is guiding even when you cannot explain how. I invite you to rest in the truth that I am never blind, even when you see very little. Take a slow breath now, and with that breath draw in the awareness that your life is surrounded on every side by my knowledge. My child, breathe out the belief that you are lost in a maze with no guide. The forest of your thoughts, the shadows of your memories, the unknown paths of your future, all of them are known to me. There is not one part of your journey that I have not already walked ahead of you in my understanding. You may feel that there are giants standing in your future, large shapes of fear and threat that tower in your imagination, worries about what might happen, about what you might lose, about how you might fail. These giants seem powerful when you look at them with human eyes alone. But lift your eyes higher now within your heart and see that I am greater than them all. There is no fear that stands taller than my strength. There is no threat that rises higher than my authority. There is no plan formed against you that I cannot overturn or reshape. Even the things that do come against you cannot escape my ability to redeem. Pain may visit you, loss may touch you, but they do not sit on the throne of your life. I do, and I remain your protector and your shepherd. In the days of Job, there was talk of advisors, judges, rulers, people who seemed wise and powerful, yet even they could be brought low, stripped of false wisdom, humbled when they trusted in themselves more than in me. This is a reminder for you that human wisdom is never the highest voice. Human power is never the final say. My counsel is the steady voice that lasts. My decision is the one that stands when all others fall. You have sometimes given too much weight to the words of other people. You have let their criticism define you, or their praise control you. You have let their moods become your weather, their approval become your sun, their rejection become your storm. Tonight I invite you to let my voice rise above all others, to let my opinion shape you more than any human judgment, to let my love become the climate of your soul. Take another soft breath and release it. As you do, imagine the sound of the rain softening, the drops becoming lighter, the clouds slowly beginning to thin. A gentle glow appears on the horizon where the sun is beginning to lower. The forest glistens. Leaves and branches carry shining beads of water. The stream reflects colors of gold and gray and green. Everything feels washed and renewed. This is how my presence moves through your life, my child. I do not promise you that there will never be storms, but I promise you that no storm will have the final word. I do not promise you that there will never be shadows, but I promise you that no shadow will erase my light. I do not promise you that there will never be shaking, but I promise you that I remain your solid ground through it all. Think now of your own inner landscape, the places in you that feel flooded with fear, or dried out by disappointment. Imagine my hand stretching over that landscape in the same way it stretches over this forest. I speak to clouds. I speak to seas. I speak to nations. And I also speak to your heart. I can calm. I can restore. I can reshape. Nothing inside you is beyond the reach of my wisdom and power. You are not a small forgotten figure lost in the crowd of the world. You are a beloved child whose every breath is known to me. While I govern galaxies and guide the rise and fall of history, I also sit beside your bed tonight. I listen to the rhythm of your breathing. I see the slight movements of your chest as you inhale and exhale. I know the thoughts that still try to rise, and I gently quiet them. Let your body grow heavier now against the place where you rest. Feel the weight of your head on your pillow, the softness beneath your back, the warmth that begins to gather around you. You are safe, you are seen, you are held. The same Lord who commands the rain and shapes the nations is here in the stillness of your room, watching over you with a love that never sleeps. Take one more long and gentle breath, and as you breathe out, let go again of the world beyond your walls. Let go of the news. Let go of the noise. Let go of the weight of things you cannot change tonight. Place them into my hands. Say within yourself, Lord, you rule over it all, and I trust your wisdom and your power. Then allow your mind to rest in that simple surrender. My child, you are not required to hold the universe together. That is my work. You are invited to rest in my care. That is your place. Let this truth sink deep into you as your eyes grow heavier and your thoughts grow slower. I am the one who commands the storms and walks in the shadows. I am the one who carries nations and holds the hearts of kings. And I am the one who holds you, now and always. You can rest in my wisdom. You can rest in my power. You can rest in my love. My child, now I speak to the deepest place in your heart, the place that hurts in silence, the place that wonders if your suffering is really my anger. You have heard many voices in your life, some spoken out loud, some only inside your thoughts. They tell you that every hardship is a punishment, that every loss is a sign that I have turned away, that every closed door is proof that you have failed beyond repair, and these words have wounded you. You look at your pain and you look at your mistakes, and your mind quietly joins them together. You tell yourself that you deserve every tear. You tell yourself that my love for you is thin and fragile. You tell yourself that you are under a cloud that will never lift, and this belief makes the weight on your chest even heavier. My child, listen to me now. I am your Lord. I am the one who loves your soul, and I tell you that your pain is not a forgotten sentence. Your suffering is not a random punishment thrown at you without meaning. I see more than you see, and my heart is not cold toward you. I know every wrong step you have taken. I know every harsh word you regret. I know every choice that has harmed you or others. Nothing is hidden from me, yet I did not come to you in order to throw stones. I came to carry what you could not carry. I came to stand in the place of judgment so that mercy could be written over your story. Long ago I took upon myself the weight of sin. I allowed nails to pierce my hands. I allowed my blood to flow. I allowed shame and pain to fall on me, not because I had sinned, but because I chose to stand in your place. I chose to take what you could not bear, so that you could stand before me washed and received and loved. The punishment that your heart fears has already fallen on me, my child. The justice that your conscience knows is real has already been satisfied in my sacrifice. I do correct you in love. I do train you. I do purify you. But I do not play with your pain as if it were a game. I do not send suffering as a cruel surprise to punish secret sins that I refuse to name. Think again of Job. He was a man whose heart was turned toward me, a man who spoke with me, a man who valued what was right, yet great suffering fell upon his life. His body was hurt, his family was hurt, his possessions were taken, his name was questioned, and his friends looked at his pain and said that I must be punishing him. They believed that every sorrow must come from a simple cause. They believed that if pain was deep, then guilt must be deep. They sat with him and tried to explain his suffering with narrow ideas. But they did not know what was happening in the unseen place. They did not know that there was more to the story than their minds could grasp. My child, many people today do the same thing. They look at their own hurt or the hurt of others and make quick judgments. They say that blessing always means approval. They say that suffering always means rejection. And this way of thinking has pierced your heart many times. You have turned their words inward and used them against yourself. I invite you now to lay down this heavy belief, the belief that every hard thing in your life means that I am angry with you, the belief that I am punishing you in secret ways, the belief that I am keeping a long record so that I can pay you back with sorrow. This is not the way I look at you. This is not the way my love works. Take a slow breath in, my child. Gather up the shame that hides in the corners of your heart. Gather the memories that still burn. Gather the whispered thoughts that say you are cursed. And as you breathe out, imagine placing all of them into my hands. Imagine that I stand before you with open arms, ready to receive what you have carried alone for so long. You do not need to protect yourself from me. You do not need to pretend that you are better than you are. You do not need to hide your wounds or cover your scars. I already see them, and I do not turn away in disgust. I come closer with compassion. I draw near with healing. I look at you through the lens of what I have finished on the cross. Let your shoulders soften again. Let your jaw loosen. Let your chest rise and fall more easily. You have spent years bracing yourself against judgment, years waiting for the next blow, years expecting rejection in every relationship. Tonight I am inviting you to step out of that posture, to unclench your soul, to allow my words of grace to sink into you. Look again in your heart at the forest where we have walked. The rain has fallen, the air is fresh, the trees glisten, the ground is dark and rich, the stream moves clear and strong between its stones. In the distance a group of deer grazes peacefully, birds settle back onto branches. The storm has not destroyed this place, it has washed it and fed it. This is a picture of what I long to do with your story. Storms have passed over you, winds have bent you, rain has soaked you with grief, yet I have not left you broken on the ground. Even now I am working to turn what was meant for harm into something that brings life. I am soaking the hard soil of your heart with mercy. I am making new growth possible in places that once fell dead. You remember moments when you thought that you would never smile again, yet a day came when a small joy slipped in. You remember moments when you believed that your heart would always be closed, yet you found yourself able to care again. You remember times when you thought that you would never trust, yet a tiny hope rose up like a new leaf. These are signs that I have not finished with you. Job passed through a season that seemed endless, yet I brought him through it. I did not erase his past, but I redeemed it. I gave him a future that held more than what he had lost. I showed him more of my heart than he had known before. His suffering became a doorway into a deeper knowledge of who I am. It did not prove that I hated him. It became a place